Hey guys, so I am here today to talk about the fact that David Dobrik is a sociopath. If you're new to my channel, I've done a few videos about David Dobrik based on the allegations against Dirty Dom, whatever the fuck his name is, and how David Dobrik was involved in that situation and kind of helped to egg it on, and how it was content for David Dobrik's channel. And I really think that, and like I went over his apologies and stuff, and like I wasn't in. Before all of this, I had no idea who the Vlog Squad was. I had heard of David Dobrik, obviously, but like I didn't really know anyone from the Vlog Squad. And so I kind of started learning about them throughout this. And that's when I learned who Jeff Wittek was, when he put out that terrible video and went on the Frenemies podcast. And I mean, I will say he did come out looking the best out of everyone, because he really did just like look like he was trying to defend himself and then realized he was being an idiot. And I don't know if like it's just because he's the most charming person or what, but he came out looking the most sincere in all of that. But in that, we also learned about his eye. When he was doing his apology video, he talked about how he couldn't really see, how he hadn't told anyone what happened with his eye yet. And he also went on the Frenemies podcast, and Trisha asked him what happened to his eye, and he said he didn't want to talk about it. And then after they got off air with him, she said that it was rumored that it was David Dobrik's stunt that went wrong. So everyone has been speculating. I believe some of the clips of the accident were leaked online a couple times. I had never seen them, but Jeff Wittek has released a docu-series, kind of. I wouldn't even really call it docu-series because they're only little 10-minute episodes, but he's released a short series on his channel about what happened to his face. So I wanted to go over the first 3 episodes. He released a 4th episode as well, but not a lot really happened in it. So I think what I might do is release this episode about the first 3, or this video about the first 3 episodes, and then I'll release another video when he kind of does the next few or culminates the series, because I do think it's an interesting series, and I think it's very interesting to see the part that David Dobrik has played in these stunts, in this accident, and how he has acted after the accident. So before I get into this video, subscribe to my channel up every Tuesday and Thursday. I do commentary videos, beauty videos, lifestyle, curvy girl videos, whatever the fuck I want to do. So subscribe to my channel and stick around. We have fun here, and let's discuss this. So to start off the series, Jeff kind of goes back in time a little bit, talks about his childhood, about growing up, what it was like. I didn't know, again, anything about Jeff. Literally the only interaction I knew Jeff from was the Cody Co Jake Paul drama, because I'm a Cody Co stan. So I like saw that video, but like I didn't even put together that was Jeff until I was doing research for this video. And then I was like, oh shit, right, Jeff's barbershop. It's all coming back to me now. So he basically talks about growing up in, I believe it was New York. He became a barber while in high school, was making money doing that, and then he kind of fell into crime, moved to Miami, was dealing a lot of drugs, went to jail for that a few times, and then I think he got busted with like a shit ton of drugs, and then got off due to like a fuck up in the warrant, and I think that's when he decided to turn his life around. So in the video, he also talks about meeting David for the first time, and how David was like enamored with Jeff's criminal activity, and it was so fucking weird and cringy to watch. I don't know how to explain it, but like David, it just like so clearly illustrates how privileged and sheltered David was. Like he clearly grew up in an affluent neighborhood and knew nothing about crime, because like he thought like Jeff being a criminal was like the coolest thing ever, like seeing his weed plants and his drug money, and he was like, oh my, like he was acting fucking like so embarrassingly annoying in the videos. Like I don't even know how to describe it, but it was like so cringy, and just like really illustrated his privilege and how he has never been around someone. Like Jeff feels more real than David in this whole docu-series. And it was just like really cringy and interesting to see how like David like thought it was super cool that Jeff was a criminal, and like he wanted to get some street cred by hanging out with him. Which like, David, you have no street cred. So basically what happened was COVID hit and they couldn't film anymore. But then as things started to settle down, David was thinking about what they could do as their comeback in this. Now, keep in mind that back during the David apology video, I talked about how David is a literal young adult who has never had a real job, who is now running a multi-million-dollar company with no HR, no oversight, no health and safety, no management. It's just like him and his friends, who, keep in mind, David does not pay his friends for videos. He does not pay them a portion of proceeds. These people are putting their life on the line for stunts on David Dobrik's channel so that David Dobrik can get views and then he can make millions of dollars. Just keep all of that in mind while we move forward. So David wants to set up this huge stunt video based on some other YouTuber as like their big comeback video. So he sends out all these stunts to his friends, who, remember, are not his employees except for Natalie. I believe she's his assistant, so she probably makes a salary. So he sends out these stunts to his not employee friends and asks them which stunts they want to do. So Jeff, Todd, and Natalie decide to go to Utah and learn how to skydive. Keep in mind that David Dobrik is nowhere in this. He wants to film this big stunt video for his comeback video, but it looks to me like David has no plans to actually do a single stunt. He wants his friends to literally put their lives on the line for his content without doing anything himself. What a little bitch is all I have to say to that. Like, you really want your friends to put their lives on the line, do these crazy stunts so that you can make millions for your channel? Like, what are you doing, David? That's what I don't understand. Like, the more I learn about David, it just feels like David's content is torturing his friends. Well, he does fucking nothing. He just stands by and laughs like a psychopath. And everyone's like, oh my God, Precious. No. So they go to Utah and they learn to skydive. They have to jump out of a plane like 25 times alone before they're certified. Keep in mind, I'm sure he's paying for like their stay in Utah, but keep in mind he doesn't pay his friends for videos. So like, was he gonna pay them to skydive for this video? And if he was, would it be even close to what he's gonna make on the views of that video? I bet you not. So then they do an excavator stunt. So if you don't know what an excavator is, I'm gonna put a picture in here because it's just easier. It's basically like a piece of construction equipment that like does the digging. This is my motion of an excavator. So they drive the excavator out into what looks like a lake, and they start using it to like wakeboard and surf and like tube off of. So like they hook up a tube to like, I'm guessing like the little excavator part, and like David is driving it. Let's first ask, did David get certification to drive this heavy duty construction equipment? Did he take lessons? Does he know what he's doing? I'm gonna go with no, because that wasn't included in the video. And if that had happened, I believe they would have included, David would have asked Jeff to include it in the video, because it at least would have made David look like less of an idiot, but he's not. And it would also make David look less negligent, but he's not. So they start doing the stunt, and then they kind of take the wakeboard and stuff off, and they get Corinna, who's one of the girls in the vlog squad, to like hang off of a rope, basically hanging off the excavator. There's like a little loop for her foot, and she's has one foot in, she's hanging on with the other arm, with her arm, and then her other foot is just dangling. David starts moving it around, and in the clip you can see the thing kind of drops and like jolts her around, and Corinna says like, get me off of this, you always take it too far, David. Which is a very poignant point in this, because David's vlog channel is literally just a culmination of him taking things too far. He takes everything too far, that's why he gets views. And so she was like, you take this too far, get off. So Jeff said, well, I just spent the last week and a half learning how to skydive, jumping out of planes. What's the worst that can happen? So he gets on the rope on the excavator, and David starts swinging. They're like basically swinging around in circles, but like as soon as fucking Jeff gets on there and they swing around like one time, David starts like kicking it into high gear, and you can see the thing like fucking whips him around, and you can even hear the people in the background going like, whoa. And David, first of all, in the video, it looks like David's holding his vlog camera in one hand, because there is footage of David's angle. So is David driving an excavator with one hand in this? Because to me, it looks like David is driving an excavator with one hand. Allegedly, I'm not sure. There's no like proof, because it is a far off angle, but there's an angle of footage from his vantage point driving it. So he's whipping him around at like high speeds on this huge construction equipment, which like sounds safe. And he starts going too fast, and David realizes it's too fast. So instead of just like slowing it down like you would, he stops the machine. And so Jeff whips back, hits into the excavator, and then falls into the water below. In the clips, you can actually hear David, like when Jeff's going too fast, he goes, oh shit. And it's in that exact tone where like he thinks it's funny that his friend is terrified up there whipping around in circles at David's fucking little hands. But then the second he stops it and Jeff flies back into the excavator, he goes, oh shit. And like you can hear the change in his voice. But like the fact that he didn't see this coming is ridiculous to me. The fact that David was driving an excavator allegedly with one hand is ridiculous to me. And the fact that he thought it was funny until it was too late is ridiculous to me. Like, you know, Jeff talks a lot in the series, and I think Jeff's trying to make David look not like an asshole in the series because they probably are still friends. But Jeff says there's like, you know, he's a kid, but like he's a 24-year-old adult. His frontal lobe is basically fully developed. I think it fully develops by 25. So like you're almost there, David. The fact that he had no like concern for his friend's life until it was too late is ridiculous. Like how did you not see this going wrong? And in the footage you can like, Jeff kind of like splices it really fast, but in the footage there's a split second on the screen where Jeff has hit into the excavator and fallen into the ocean, but his foot is still stuck in the little loop in the rope. So he's hanging upside down from the rope and his entire like chest up is underwater. So they rush him to the hospital. And I think what's interesting to note here is that it's not just Jeff's eye that got fucked up. Jeff tore ligaments in his leg, broke his foot, broke his hip, shattered his skull in 9 places, and shattered his eye socket. Like, let's just think about how fast David had to be whipping that around in order for that momentum to do all of that damage to Jeff. Because the shattered hip, the foot was probably from the fall because his foot was stuck. But the shattered hip, the shattered skull, and the shattered eye socket was all from the impact of him slamming into the excavator, which I'm 99% sure allegedly that David had no training to drive. And it's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, this is where I have to say David Dobrik is evil. Because like, where is your concern for your friends' lives? You are a bajillionaire. Why don't you have a stunt coordinator on hand? Why didn't you have someone else to drive the excavator while you filmed? Why were you filming while there were 2 other people standing on the excavator steps with you that could have been filming? Like, why? There's so many whys. He just clearly had no regard for anyone else's safety. He thinks he's above the law and above, you know, things going wrong, and thinks he can do whatever the fuck he wants because none of his stunts have gone bad before. But like, look at what happened. Jeff nearly died. In the clip with Jeff's doctor says that where he was hit, if it was a 3-degree difference in the angle or a 3mm difference, it would have hit him right here in his temple and he would have died because it would have gone right into his brain, or it would have gone right through his eyeball and he would have lost his eye. Like, he literally almost killed his friend, and like not in like a dramatic sense. Like, this was literally, Jeff was 3mm from dying, and David still like laughing about it in the hospital. He's like, oh, well, like Jeff's in good spirits, so it's so good to see that he's in good spirits. But like, there was not a single clip in this entire series where David says like, I feel so fucking bad about what happened. Not one time does he sit in front of the camera and actually look like a real fucking human being and say like, wow, I can't believe this happened. I'm like so traumatized by what this happened. I'm such an idiot for doing this. I really thought that, like, you know, you always think things will never happen to you, but look what happened to us. And I almost killed my friend, and I will never get over that feeling. Like, could you imagine if you almost killed your friend? I would be inconsolable. And this man is just like going on living his fucking life. Like, I know the documentary was about Jeff, but there are clips of David in it. He gives little like kind of like diary booth moments, and he doesn't really ever show compassion or sympathy or empathy for the fact that he literally almost killed his friend. In the video, it also shows that David is paying for Jeff's medical bills, which, like, you damn sure better be. But like, if I'm Jeff, I am suing the fuck out of David. I do not care if you're my friend. You are a bajillionaire and you should be doing more than paying for my medical bills. I know that Jeff kind of seems like a proud person and he doesn't want to like accept help from other people, but like, David literally like ruined his life, potentially. We still haven't gotten to the point of the video where we see what actually happened with Jeff's eye. But like I said, I remember in his apology video, which was not that long ago, he talks about the fact that he had double vision. He couldn't really see. That's why he didn't read the article about the assault allegations, because he couldn't see it. Like, he's like, I could have had someone read it to me. I'm an idiot. But like, he literally can't see out of one of his eyeballs. And he almost died. In the video, again, Jeff talks about how, like, you know, he's like, I would open my phone and I would see David on Instagram getting praised for something, or I would see him on social media getting praised for something, maybe not want to go online because like I saw him out there living his life while my life was forever altered. And he also mentions that after like a month after Jeff came home from the hospital, David didn't reach out. In the next video, in episode 4, I'll give you like a little sneak peek. David basically was like, well, you don't really know like what to do, whether you like, you know, does he want me to reach out or would that be annoying? And it's just like, listen, if I nearly murdered one of my best friends, you best believe I would be at that bitch's you best believe I would be at that bitch's door every single morning with a fucking Starbucks. I would be showering her in gifts. We would be going to Sephora every day because I almost killed my best friend. And like, honestly, just like the idea that like, he's like, oh, I don't know how to be there for him. Like, Jonah was like, well, maybe he doesn't know how to be there for you. And Jeff's friend goes, he literally almost killed him and he hasn't spoken to him for a month. Like, what a trash person are you? Don't give me that bullshit about like, I didn't know how to approach you. Grow a fucking pair. Because if you're worried about upsetting your friend, he'll fucking tell you if he's upset, but he's not gonna tell you if you're never there. Like, I can't get over the fact, like there's just so many things in this story that are so ridiculous that just show the true character of David Dobrik and the fact that he's a trash human. Like, he almost killed his friend. He put his friend in a very dangerous situation. Again, a lot in the video. Jeff really tries to make David look like not horrible by being like, you know, this is an accident and like I never expected to be in this situation and I shouldn't have put my like life in someone else's hands, but like David also never expected this to happen. It was just an accident. But like, no. Like, you really can't call any of this an accident because David put his friends in this situation. He decided to drive an excavator with allegedly no training and allegedly do it one-handed. Like it really comes down to whether or not you believe David was negligent or whether he was stupid. Like, I just don't, like, he's a millionaire. Why can't he afford a stunt coordinator? Why can't he afford all these other things? Again, I understand Jeff not wanting to like make him out to be the bad guy because like he credits David with his success because David's the one that kind of pushed him into the vlog squad and pushed him to do his own thing. But David has treated these people like trash for literal years. He treats them like, you know, free content. He puts them through shit for his content. He doesn't pay them. He is just like, you can just tell he's such a selfish asshole who just like gives people cars and money so that he looks better as opposed to doing anything to actually help his friends out. I just like watching this series. I mean, I had heard the rumors that this was David's fault, but like actually seeing the footage, I also want to touch on quickly that the actual like uncensored footage is on Jeff's Patreon and people are upset that like it's like a money scheme for him. But like, if anyone should be making money off of this content, it's Jeff. First of all, it makes sense because YouTube is like demonetization happy right now. So it makes sense for him to have to censor the content for YouTube. And if he's going to put it somewhere else, his Patreon makes the most sense. If you want to see it, that's where it is. And like, you know, if again, Jeff's life is like basically forever altered. We don't know what his vision is like. We don't know if he can see, if he'll ever look the same. And if anyone deserves to make money off of this, it's Jeff. It'd be different if like David had it behind a paywall because then I would like have my pitchfork ready. But to see Jeff profit off of this like he deserves to. He went through literal hell. He's had surgery after surgery. We don't know if he can see out of his eye yet. He literally almost died. Let the man make some fucking money off of it. Like, he didn't even have to put the series out. He could have just done nothing with it, which is I'm sure what David wanted him to do. But yeah, I just like every instance of this just like makes me realize how trash David is. Like the fact that he put his friends in this situation, the fact that he had them doing stunts for his videos while not paying them, but like he wasn't also doing the stunts, the fact that he literally didn't, like he paid for the medical bills and then just bounced and like didn't help his friend, didn't like contact his friend for like a month after they came home. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I would be like, even if you weren't texting him like about like how you are, like there are other ways to communicate. You could just like talk to the person, send him memes, you know, talk about other things, at least make him feel like you're still his friend, because like he probably really felt like you dropped him like a hot potato after he almost died for a stunt on your YouTube channel where he put his life in your hands and trusted you, and you fucked that up and you almost killed him. I am just like, I mean, I've been done with David Dobrik, but this footage and this whole situation is absolutely atrocious. And I swear to God, if I hear him say he's gonna get an HR department like he did last time, I'm gonna scream, because that is just not enough. He is clearly incapable of running a company. He is incapable of being the person who is in charge of health and safety for these people. And he needs to put an entire organization together, because this is fucking ridiculous. I am disgusted. I hope that Jeff can recover from this, because like he does feel like a real person who like is going through it. But I hope nothing good for David. Like I don't see him learning from this. I don't see him learning from anything. Like again, it's very early on, but like this happened a couple months ago and like nobody talked about it, and David still did not feel very sincere in the videos. It's just like, you almost killed your friend, and I haven't heard you say you regret that one time, or like say that you are sorry or anything of the sort. Just like, I thought you were dead is what he said to Jeff in the hospital. I thought you were dead. AKA, I thought I killed you. So that's where I stand. David Dobrik is evil, and that's where I stand. Like, he is a sociopath, and he is, remember when I said that David Dobrik is like the next Shane Dawson? Maybe he is the next Jake Paul. Didn't Shane Dawson do an entire docuseries about how Jake Paul was a sociopath? Maybe he picked the wrong YouTuber. Maybe it was David Dobrik all along. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know down below what you guys think of the situation. Have you watched the Jeff Wittek videos? They're only 10 minutes long. I highly recommend watching them just for the context and to kind of hear Jeff's side of the story. Has this changed your view on David? Do you watch David Dobrik's content? I've literally never. And yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys think down below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.